I'm thrilled to have with us today a wide and high status set of panels from people from government, from industry, from education. And we're going to start it with an introduction from my colleague and the Senate Director, Jerry McGinn, and Jim Woolsey, who's president of DAU. I'd like to acknowledge them for partnering with us to bring this conference to fruition. I'd also like to thank our board for the center, especially John Hillen, who's here, whom you'll see in a moment, who really is the person behind the vision for the center over a course of how many years, John? Well, more than you'd like to say. Six years or so. And what happened was that John and colleagues looked to see where is it in the Washington area that we could make this happen in a way that would stick, that would have substance, and that people would come to. And Mason was the place. I'm thrilled to represent us there. So I'd like to say welcome again. Great to have you here. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'd like to invite Jerry McGinn and Jim Woolsey to introduce the program. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. All right, thanks, Maury Peiperl, for the welcome. It's great to have you all here. Let me give you first. Let me thank our sponsors for today's festivities. We were very fortunate to have one of our companies sponsor. So that's Array, Cohen Resnick, Cordia Partners, Evans Incorporated, Govini, Leidos, LexisNexis, and LMI. So some of them have exhibits here, but it's really, we wouldn't be here today but for our sponsors, so we thank them for their support. And we also have several media partners, Washington Exec, the Federal News Network, and Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. And then we've also been partnering with what we call our industry partners, the Northern Virginia Chamber of Commerce, the Virginia PTAC, as well as the Small and Emerging Contractors Advisory Forum, or CCAF. So these organizations have been instrumental in helping us get this program off the ground, and so it's really tremendous to have them with us. So 2 questions: why the center? Why this center, and why this conference? So the first question Maury really helped answer. It was a vision started by John and by Maury and the other deans to really. There's a real need in the market for a forum where government, industry, and academia can collaborate on the issues that animate this $500 billion ecosystem that is government contracting. That's what each of us work in every day, and there really has been a gap in serious kind of research, education and training, and collaboration in these kind of areas. So the center, that's what we've stood up. There's on your tables, there's a little card that talks a bit about the center that we've established. And we have 3 lines of efforts around research, education, and training, and collaboration. So to summarize, the first on research, we've done a number of commentary pieces that we published, and we're working on doing some more substantive research. We're going to be publishing our white paper series later this year on issues such as a couple of the panel topics on IP. How do we manage intellectual property in procurement competitions? How does the government value that? Another paper is on small business transitions. What are the unintended consequences of some of the programs, such as the ADA programs? So those kind of things that are really meaty issues is where we'd like to go with the center. On research and then education and training, we're fortunate we have established a minor in government contracting for our undergraduates, which we're just launching. So that's going to help to, so when you're hiring kids out of college, or young men and women out of college, they're going to have an understanding of what's an RFP, what's the FAR, so it helps reduce their learning curve and makes them more attractive for you all. We also are relaunching our executive MBA program around national security and government contracting. So Mason is really making an effort in that area. And then finally, in collaboration, which is why we're here today, we're doing a lot of media outreach. We've done events. And I met with Jim shortly after I came to Mason. We were colleagues in the Pentagon together. And I said, I'd really like to find a way to work together. And fortunately, for the last several months, Jim and his staff, we've been working to help build this program. And we're excited to have you here today. So if you look at the program here, you've got it. You've also got a conference app, which allows you to kind of look at what the schedule is for today. We're very fortunate. We try to build everything around having a government, industry, and academic perspective. So each of the panels will have representatives from each of those disciplines or each of those constituencies here today. And then we're going to have those panels around 3 keynotes. We have CEO of Leidos, Mr. Roger Crone, who will be first out of the chute. Ms. Ellen Lord, who's the Undersecretary of Defense for Acquisition and Sustainment. And then we're going to have Congressman Denver Riggleman, who's represented from Virginia, and a former CEO of a GovCon company. So we're excited to have him throughout the day. But then the final part was we're having a reception afterwards. And if you look on the back of your badges, you have 2 tickets for some wine and beer after the conference. But we're really excited to launch with the substance. But I want to turn over to Jim to welcome for his introduction.
Thank you. Good morning. And congratulations, Jerry, on pulling this together. It is a partnership, but Jerry is the driving force to make this happen, and congratulations on pulling it together. And for the center, it's a really good time to be doing this and to be setting up a contracting specialty on the academic side because of the environment we're in. So when you go through the program today, you're going to see the obvious theme of change, that in the government we are changing. The industrial base we work with is different. What is a weapon system is different. A lot of things are changing about how we do our business. And you're also going to get a theme about flexibility. We're going to have a lot of flexibility in how we do our work. The adaptive acquisition framework, if you haven't heard about already, you're going to hear that from Ms. Lord and others today. And a lot of the tools we're talking about are about flexibility. Other transactions is a more flexible way to write a contract. The adaptive acquisition framework is a more flexible way to do a program. And that sounds really great. Flexibility is fun and good. We can make things happen better, but it has a cousin, ambiguity, which makes it more challenging for all of us to do the work that we do. And to work in that environment, you have to have a more sophisticated knowledge of what's going on, and that means communication. It means understanding what other people are doing, where they're coming from, what your environment is, which is, of course, our business at DAU, so we're changing how we deliver things. We're emphasizing workshops, small modules, and we're trying to get new voices into the classroom with students. Those of you who are from industry, we want you, just as a little plug. We like to bring other voices into the classroom. We're trying to get knowledge to people in new ways, different ways, right where they are. And this is a great example of collaboration, communication, helping us all get a better understanding of the world we're in. So I look forward to sharing with you today and learning together. And I think we should get on with it.
Yeah, I think so. So one final admin point. The app is where you've got the program on there as well as your hard copy. You're going to, for questions, please, you're going to submit your questions through the app. You just go to the panel session that you're interested in. There's a question tab. Type your question. The moderator is going to get it right here on his iPad, and we'll be able to do Q&A that way. So thanks very much for attendance. And John, over to you, and Mr. Crone. Thanks.